It's that time of year again. Red versus blue, a city divided as we prepare to take on Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. This fixture is slightly different from Merseyside derbies past though, as a loss in this game would not only cede bragging rights to the opposition, but may even see the losing side slip into the relegation zone. But before that, we have two other games to get to here in episode 6 of the realistic takeover rebuild with Everton. We'll kick things off with highlights of our home match in the Europa League against Copenhagen, where a win would all but see us through to the knockout stages of the competition. And we'll have highlights of another home fixture, this time against Fulham in the Premier League, to get to as well. So there's a lot to play for here in today's episode. We did manage a win against Copenhagen in our last Europa League game, so we'll be looking to go back to back here in the second fixture. I'm hoping that we can get off to a quick start, build a lead of a couple of goals at the very least, so we can bring some of our more important players off and rest them ahead of our next match up against Fulham. We do need to go with a strong 11 though, and that's exactly what Graham Potter has done. Jordan Pickford in goal, the strongest back five that he has available to him, including Isak Toure, who continues alongside Anderson and Ahmed Hodzic. Josh Da Silva does come into the midfield alongside James Garner, but it is the strongest front three of Reiss Nelson, Assane Diao and Matheus Cunha. We got off to a quick start in this one. Assane Diao cutting in off the right-hand side and forcing a save from the Copenhagen goalkeeper early. It was a relatively comfortable one though. And Assane Diao was amongst the chances again shortly after. A mazy run again in off that right-hand side. This time he fired across the keeper. Wasn't able to get this one on target though. And then we did what we have done on so many occasions so far this season. Went to sleep defensively for a moment, and Copenhagen opened the scoring with their very first shot of the game. We didn't get our heads down though. We equalised just 2 minutes later. James Justin crossing into the penalty area for James Garner to get on the end of. A really well worked move and a nice finish from Garner. And we kept the pressure on Josh Da Silva with a powerful effort from this free kick, but again parried away by the Copenhagen goalkeeper. Nice little fake from Reiss Nelson to lay it off for him as well. And we did have a goal from the resultant corner, not from a header, but initially headed clear by Copenhagen. The ball fell on the edge of the penalty area to Assane Diao. He just took a moment or two to settle it. Copenhagen didn't really close him down, and he just lofted the ball over the goalkeeper, who had taken a step or two off his line. And we just keep stacking up potential contenders for goal of the season. This one coming from Reiss Nelson. The highlight doesn't quite show it here, but it was an incredible ball from Ahmed Hodzic all the way across the field to Nelson. He cut in off the left-hand side, and it was a devastating finish. It was much the same after the break too. Copenhagen scored with their first shot of the game, and it was one of their only shots of the game. We dominated proceedings after that. James Garner found himself through on goal, but it was a poor finish in the end. We did, however, find a fourth and final goal through Ben Godfrey. James Garner whipping in the corner. Godfrey, a free header, pretty much. And he made no mistake putting it into the corner of the net, away from the Copenhagen goalkeeper, who had another pretty good performance. So another lapse in concentration defensively, which is certainly not good to see. We've been trying to avoid those as best we can in recent games. But after we did concede, we went on to absolutely dominate a thoroughly professional performance. Apoel did lose their 4th straight game in the Europa League, so they are officially out of the competition. Copenhagen's still technically in it, but it does very much look like we are going to proceed to the knockout stages along with Augsburg. And it's a quick turnaround, but that does bring us to our second game of the episode against Fulham. Lots of rotation in the side for this one, as Godfrey and Tarkowski come into the back five. Stack and Tomine, the pairing in midfield, but the front three remains the same. We do tend to struggle against Fulham, and they are putting out a strong 11, so we're going to have our wits about us in this one. And we did rise to the challenge in this one. We played some absolutely incredible football, and we were creating chances from the off. The front three were all lively. Matheus Cunha and Reiss Nelson coming close to scoring early on, but it was Assane Diao that would eventually break the deadlock. James Justin making a driving run down the left-hand side, crossing in towards Assane Diao at the far post, and it was a really, really good finish to squeeze it by the goalkeeper. And we continue to just absolutely dominate Fulham. We popped the ball around with ease. We were getting forward in numbers. Anton Stack this time with a shot from inside the penalty area. And we were causing problems from set pieces as well. Every phase of the game working. Reece Nelson's initial header was cleared off the line. James Tarkowski was first to the rebound, but it was parried over by the goalkeeper. But it was another one of those games where we just failed to take our opportunities. Scott McTominay this time heading wide from a corner. And then Anton Stack dragging this shot from just outside the penalty area wide. And we've seen multiple times this season, if we fail to take our opportunities, then we do open the door for the opponent to get back into the game. And that's exactly what happened here. Abdoulaye Doucouré, the former Everton man, signed for Fulham on a free in the summer. He leveled the scoring. And despite our continued dominance, 15 minutes later, we actually found ourselves behind. Willian stealing in at the back post to head a looping effort back over Jordan Pickford. And from there, we were just fighting to get a point from the game, but we did eventually find the equaliser through Assane Diao, his second goal of the game. It was actually from a Fulham corner. Jordan Pickford threw it straight out to Assane Diao, who drove up the other end and tucked it away. So frustrating to only come away from the game with a point after putting in such a good performance. Really, it was one of the performances of the season and potentially the series so far. I really can't emphasize it enough how good we looked in possession, and some of the passing moves that we put together were really, really good. I'm just getting sick of conceding almost every time the CPU shoot. I think when we were 2-0 down, Fulham had 3 shots. And we certainly can't afford to allow that kind of conversion rate against our next opponents. Liverpool have been on a horrendous run of form to start the season, most recently losing 2-0 to Arsenal. But we know what the likes of Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz can do if you give them the opportunity. It's a strange Merseyside derby, this one. Both teams finding themselves down towards the bottom area of the table early in the season. But there will, of course, still be all to play for in this one. We're not only playing for points, for Premier League safety, to build a bit of momentum on the field, but of course we're also playing for pride. Liverpool have certainly had the edge over us in the Merseyside derbies in this series so far, so we'll be looking to turn that on its head here today. Liverpool will line up with a very strong 11 though. Alisson in goal, a back four of Nacho, De Ligt, Botman and Robertson, a midfield trio of Sanset, who has been impressive since joining Liverpool, along with Fabio Carvalho and Joshua Kimmich. Mohamed Salah, Rodrigo and Luis Diaz comprise the front 3. Whereas Graham Potter has selected the same 11 that ran out against Fulham in the previous game. There was a nice balance to the team and it should hopefully work well here again today. There's some pace at the back with Ben Godfrey and Arnel Ahmedhodzic, so they should hopefully be able to match the likes of Rodrigo, Diaz and Salah. But there's experience littered throughout the side as well. Tarkowski taking his place at the centre of that defence. McTominay and Stack, the pairing in midfield. And of course, the strongest front 3 of Nelson, Diao and Cunha, who caused Fulham so many problems. So without further ado, let's head over to Anfield and see if we can upset our rivals and drive them ever closer towards relegation. So we are up in the commentary booth at Anfield for another Merseyside derby. A lot on the line in this one, as there always is. We are looking to climb towards the top half of the table at the very least. We were anticipating being in amongst the teams fighting for Europe again this season, but the additional fixtures have taken their toll, really, I would say. Of course, we have the FA Cup. Of course, we have the Carabao Cup as Matheus Cunha is in with an early opportunity and opens the scoring 2 minutes into the game with the first shot of the game. Matheus Cunha, a goal drought in recent weeks and months. He hasn't been on top form to start this season, and it's one of the reasons that we have been struggling so much in the Premier League. But he opens the scoring here. It was a risky challenge from Botman. Not so much because there was a chance that he would give away the foul, but because if he committed to sliding there, which he did, it would allow Matheus Cunha in behind, which is exactly what happened. And Matheus Cunha makes no mistake with the finish. And 2 minutes into this Merseyside derby, we have the lead. Absolutely rapturous scenes from the away fans, who I believe we just scored in front of. But there is a long way to go in this game. Of course, we've got off to the best possible start. But the game certainly is not won. Far, far from it. I think Liverpool will put us under real pressure today. As Nathan Patterson turns away from 3 Liverpool players, and we could be away here again through Matheus Cunha. Sven Botman gets it right this time. The pass just laid a little too far out in front of Cunha. But Botman stayed on his feet, got the challenge correct on this occasion. And Liverpool begin a second attack here on their left-hand side. Hassan Diao, though, away on the right for Everton. Pulls it back to Anton Stach. It actually ends up at the feet of Matheus Cunha. A little too far in front of Hassan Diao, but good pressure here early. Good cross towards the back post where Reece Nelson was lying in wait. Scott McTominay probably would have been the better target. Mo Salah for Liverpool. Good challenge, Reece Nelson. Lively start to this game here at Anfield. A Stack just does well to skip away from a couple of Liverpool players and hold on to it. Hassan Diao spotted the space between those 2 Liverpool players, but couldn't quite carry himself through. And Anton Stach will just find Jordan Pickford. Try and get our feet and settle a little bit on the ball here now. We did that very well against Fulham. We popped the ball around the back excellently, working it up through the midfield. Really building our attacks from the back. I don't anticipate we'll get quite as much of an opportunity to do that here today. Is Reece Nelson onside? I think he's not onside. And if he's not, it should surely be pulled back for an Everton free kick after that challenge from Sanset, should it not? That's a really bad challenge. Fortunate just to get a booking for that one, Sanset. And if that's offside, then surely there's no advantage and we should have the free kick there. Instead, the referee has counted it as an advantage and given the free kick to Liverpool. Not sure I agree with that particular decision. I don't know the rules quite well enough to make that assertion confidently. James Tarkowski is not in the position in which we would like to find him. Really good challenge, Nathan Patterson. Hassan Diao knocks it inside to Stack, who is under pressure from the Liverpool man. Loses out, but it's a really good recovery from James Tarkowski. And Reece Nelson is again away on that left-hand side, but too many Liverpool defenders for company for James Justin to be able to find him. He's just lofted it into the box, though. 3 Everton players in there. Matheus Cunha just in front of the ball. Reece Nelson just behind. And the ball fell harmlessly to a Liverpool man in the end. This game is a little more back and forth than I would like with a 1-goal lead. We cannot allow Liverpool to get a shot away here. Good save, Jordan Pickford. And Nathan Patterson can just clear through Hassan Diao. Robertson with a good challenge. Ben Godfrey. And James, nope. Ahmed Hodzic and eventually James Tarkowski can just slow the game down a little bit here. I think we do want to look to do that in this first half with a 1-goal lead. Not just go into our shell and completely sit back. But I think slow the game down, try and disrupt any momentum that Liverpool might be able to build here in the first half. Has been Liverpool in control since the goal. We've certainly had our moments, but we haven't had quite as much control of the game as Liverpool have. They've really been dictating the tempo, and we have been taking, or trying to take at least, our opportunities when they have come. And Liverpool, good save again, Jordan Pickford. Rodrigo this time found himself in space in the penalty area. Jordan Pickford with another really good save to maintain that 1-goal lead. Might actually drop into our defensive game plan for at least 10 or 15 minutes here, because Liverpool really are starting to press for this equaliser. Oh, good defending from Scott McTominay. Liverpool get the fortunate bounce. No surprises there. And Luis Diaz eventually beats Nathan Patterson. And Patterson does well to play it off Diaz. And out for an Everton goal kick. Jordan Pickford with a bit of a disappointing performance against Fulham. But he's had a good start to this game. 2 big saves to keep us ahead in this one so far. Reiss Nelson just drops in, which we're going to need him to do on numerous occasions here. And he does well to turn away from his man as well. Scott McTominay, can he find Hassan Diao on this right-hand side? Yes, he can. Nathan Patterson with the overlapping run. And I'll take a corner here if we can get it. Hassan Diao brings it down in the box, though. Strikes against the Liverpool man. Patterson just recovers and recycles to Diao. Good ball in. Looking for Reiss Nelson once more. And Anton Stack collects and finds James Justin on the opposite side. He'll drive into the box. Pull it back towards Reiss Nelson. I wasn't sure where the ball ended up there. Took a deflection off the Liverpool man. And I was anticipating seeing the ball come across the penalty area, and it just didn't. Struggled to find it again for a moment. But Liverpool come away on this right-hand side now. It's not been their favoured direction of attack in this first half. But Rodrigo has found some space and has found potentially Sunset in an advanced position. Botman also in the Everton half. Liverpool with bodies forward, but a really good challenge again by Nathan Patterson. Fantastic defending, and manages to find Matheus Cunha in a bit of space with only Sven Botman for company. Cuts inside Botman, but good adjustment by the Liverpool defender. Matheus Cunha still, though, into the box. Can he shoot across Alisson? Yes, he can, but it's also across the face of the goal and out for a goal kick. Nathan Patterson has been superb so far. Fantastic performance in that right-back position. He has completely bottled up Luis Diaz. He still has a good hour to continue to try and do the same. And Luis Diaz, obviously not somebody you can easily control for that period of time. But he's done a good job of it so far, Nathan Patterson. That's a poor pass out from the back. Hassan Diao dropping in to try and defend, but Liverpool find space in the box with Rodrigo and level the scoring. It's been coming, to be fair. Liverpool, since we scored, have taken control of this game. And Mo Salah linking up really nicely with Rodrigo. Not a lot Jordan Pickford could do about that one. Very, very good finish from the Brazilian. And it is all level here at Anfield. It was going to be a tough task. As soon as we scored in the second minute, it was going to be a tough task to hang on to that lead for the remainder of the game. And Reiss Nelson is away. Again here on the left-hand side. Good tackle by the Liverpool man. The Liverpool right-back has been very, very aggressive in his approach against Reiss Nelson. He's been stepping up and trying to play Reiss Nelson very, very tight. There's been a couple of occasions where we have managed. Ben Godfrey, come on, it's got to be better than that. Good save at the near post, Jordan Pickford. You can't let him in that easily, though. There's been a couple of occasions where Reiss Nelson has just been able to turn away from his man and get in behind. We're going to look to exploit that as we continue here in this game. Too much space for Rodrigo again. Hassan Diao lays it out in front of Nathan Patterson. There's Matheus Cunha as well. Anton Stack inside him. Scott McTominay with a run. Reece Nelson takes away the right back so that James Justin can come up in support. Pulls it back to Reece Nelson. Into the feet of Scott McTominay, and it's loose. And Matheus Cunha with the shot. Again pushed wide. Fortunate that the ball fell to him there. And I think he just kind of snatched at the shot as a result. Wasn't anticipating finding the ball at his feet. And when he did, his eyes widened a little too much, I think. And he just snatched at it and forced it wide. Good interception by Reece Nelson. Nice little touch from Scott McTominay as well to skip away from his man. Good run from Scott McTominay. Can he find Reece Nelson? Yes, he can. Lays it off for Matheus Cunha, but the pass is poor. The pass is really poor. That just needed to be into Reece Nelson's feet. And instead, it's straight to the Liverpool defender. Really, really lazy pass from Reece Nelson. When we had the ball in an excellent situation. And Liverpool take the lead. Sunset gives Liverpool the edge before half-time. And what is that from Tarkowski? What is that? Had an opportunity to score. Reece Nelson with a poor pass. Liverpool go up the other end. Take the lead instead. Really, really disappointing. Really disappointing. I don't feel like we deserve to be 2-1 down. I feel like we've had... Oh, Reece Nelson almost ties it up just before half-time. I feel like we have been in this game just as much as Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool have controlled the tempo, but I don't feel like they've controlled the game completely. We've had our opportunities. Oh, Reece Nelson gets his head on the ball somehow when he is horizontal. But the half-time whistle does go. And I would say we've had just as many opportunities in that first half as Liverpool. But it is Liverpool with the lead at half-time. Really wish we could have at least hung on to a 1-1. Especially since that goal was so late in the half to put Liverpool ahead. And 53% possession for Liverpool, more passes than us, but it's 6 shots to 5, and I think it's been fairly well balanced in terms of the quality of those opportunities. And that is certainly reflected in the XG, 1.3 to 1.5. So I think we can feel a little hard done by to be 2-1 down at half-time. No changes for Graham Potter as we come out for the second half, though. No changes to personnel or to the approach. I think we continue to play the same way. Hassan Diao is onside. Do not raise your flag. He hasn't. Matheus Cunha. Great save, Alisson. Really good start to the second half, though. Exactly the way we started the first half and exactly the way we do want to continue in this game. I think we take the same approach that we did in the first. Just try and hit Liverpool on counter-attacks. Keep playing aggressive, direct football. Hassan Diao tries to cross, blocked by Andy Robertson. Diao with really good strength to get into the box, though. Laid off for Anton Stack. Good challenge in the end by the Liverpool man. Mo Salah lays it off for, I believe, Sunset. Back into the path of Salah, but won back really well by Nathan Patterson, who continues to have an excellent game in his right-back position. And how that hasn't gone out of play for an Everton throw, I don't know. Well worked from Liverpool on this left-hand side, but look who it is yet again. Nathan Patterson, absolutely dominant performance so far. Man of the match without doubt. Luis Diaz still hasn't really influenced the game. Liverpool have managed to not only get back level but take the lead, but hasn't been really in any part thanks to Luis Diaz. It's been all Rodrigo and Mo Salah. And Sunset has been fairly influential as well, to be fair. Robertson. Inside to Carvalho. Joshua Kimmich. Can we put a challenge in, please? Godfrey facing up Rodrigo and does a good job just to send him wide. Hassan Diao finds Matheus Cunha, but he needs some support. And that comes in the form of Hassan Diao. Is he onside? Yes, he is. I'm not sure if he was even in our own penalty area there. In our own half, rather, when the ball was played. But regardless, the linesman's flag stayed down. And it's another chance that goes begging. Blocked by the Liverpool defender, I think, from the shot from Anton Stack. It could well have been Scott McTominay. They look fairly similar, and they even wear the same or fairly similar boots at the very least. Sometimes tough to tell the difference. James Justin. Can Reece Nelson get in behind like Hassan Diao has done so successfully today? Yes, he can. Can he find an Everton man, though? Blocked again by Liverpool. We are pressing here in the second half. Again, we've had the better of the opening exchanges like we did in the first. But in the first half, we did see Liverpool grow into the game. And we may well see the same happen here. Liverpool finally getting down that left-hand side. Worked to Kimmich, eventually to Sanset. And Ben Godfrey can't hook clear. And Anton Stack can break. Hassan Diao on his right-hand side. Make the run, Diao. Eventually he does. Andy Robertson for company. Pulls it back across goal. Matheus Cunha, that's got to be a foul, ref. Matheus Cunha ends up on the deck. No penalty. As Liverpool make a change, Carvalho off, Szoboszlai on. And we'll try and find an Everton head from this corner. We have been fairly good from set pieces this season. Scott McTominay was there. Hassan Diao, head the ball. What are you doing? I'm trying to head it down to Reece Nelson to put the ball back into the box, and Hassan Diao is just shoulder charging Liverpool players for no reason. I'd rather have the ball than to leave one on the Liverpool man. I know tensions run high in these games. Good interception. Reece Nelson can't retain possession, though. Unlucky in that situation to give the ball back to Liverpool. Mo Salah cuts in from the right-hand side, finds Szoboszlai, and Ahmed Hodzic can't win it back. Good save, Jordan Pickford. Strong hand away at the near post. Nathan Patterson. We need runners up ahead, but Liverpool have taken both the options away. Anton Stack and Hassan Diao. And Matheus Cunha has picked up a knock here. Clips the ball out to Reece Nelson, though. And James Justin out in front. Anton Stack with a really good run through the middle, and Justin plays it straight into the feet of the Liverpool man. Hassan Diao from range levels the scoring. What a goal, Hassan Diao. He's been in fine goal scoring form. Had a couple against Fulham to come away with a point. And he's levelled the scoring here against Liverpool with a fantastic strike from just outside the box. And again, fantastic scenes in the away end. A pinpoint strike. Anton Stack it was. Possibly unsighting Alisson as he ran across Diao. Didn't do enough to put the Everton man off, though. And the ball does nestle into that bottom corner, just inside the post. It was an excellent finish from Diao. And the youngster continues to impress. I think Matheus Cunha is going to have to come off here. We do have Dale Afeyu on the bench, who has also been in fine goal-scoring form to start this season on his return to Goodison Park. Hassan Diao wins it back. Ben Godfrey. Nathan Patterson is in space on that right-hand side. Fortunate that the deflection off the Liverpool man fell to an Everton shirt, though. Oh, and Reece Nelson sets McTominay away. McTominay not the paciest of players, but he does well to carry the ball into the Liverpool half. And I'm in two minds now about how we approach the remainder of this game. Do we stick in our balanced game plan and go for the winner do we drop into our defensive game plan and just try and hold on to the point? I'm not sure we've beaten Liverpool so far in this series. I would love 3 points against them. But they do have a corner. There's about 20 minutes to go. And a point at Anfield is always a good result. Liverpool to make a change or two. We're going to do the same. For now, I think we're going to stick in our standard game plan and make 2 changes. Matheus Cunha has picked up a knock. He will make way for De La Feu. Scott McTominay leaves the field to be replaced by James Garner as well. I think we stick with our standard game plan and try and nick a winner here, at least for the next 10 minutes or so. James Garner beats half the Liverpool team and he is into the final third. Can he find De La Feu? Yes, he can, but it was a weak shot. Hassan Diao straight at Alisson. I think the game is there for the taking. This is why I don't want to drop back into our defensive game plan. But I know if we don't and we end up losing the game, I will regret the decision. De La Feu nods it down to Ben Godfrey. Strike from range, and what a save from Alisson. That was such a good effort by Ben Godfrey. I thought maybe he'd taken a little bit too long to get the shot away there. And I thought it was just going to be blocked, but it was on target. And like Diao's attempt earlier, I think it would have been heading towards that bottom corner. But a really good save from Alisson. De La Feu, Ben Godfrey there again. Ball doesn't fall to him this time though. And it's De Ligt who sets Rodrigo away. But what a challenge by Nathan Patterson. Plays it off the Liverpool man for an Everton throw. I don't think Nathan Patterson has put a foot wrong today. I'm not sure I can think of a single mistake that he's made. It's been an absolute... Oh my God, Jordan Pickford. I can certainly think of a mistake that Pickford has made. Thankfully, it doesn't cost us initially. Danger not yet away though. Ahmed Hodzic doing well to deal with it, but does fall to Liverpool. How can that possibly be a penalty? I am so sick of this. I am so sick of this. Matheus Cunha gets absolutely body slammed to the ground earlier. Almost thrown into the Liverpool post and we get nothing. That's a penalty. I'm absolutely sick of this. The CPU, big teams in particular, are just gifted penalties. And Jordan Pickford saves it. Get up. Jordan Pickford saves the penalty. Let's go. Poetic justice for certain, because that was never a penalty. Jordan Pickford comes up big to make the save. Danger not clear though. Diogo Jota. Good interception by Stack. Diao. Come on, ref. Get him off. It's a yellow card. You know if that was an Everton man, it would have been a red. There was a break on there as well. That should be a double yellow. A yellow for the challenge. And a yellow for stopping the break there. 2 yellows in one, that's a red. That's how it works, right? I think we just sit in our defensive game plan now. We're less than 10 minutes from the end of the game. And I think Liverpool are going to be pressing for the winner. And I think as frustrating as it is, I think we are just going to sit in our defensive game plan for the remainder. James Justin away. Look at Reece Nelson. He's all over him. Reece Nelson can't make a run in behind because the Liverpool player's dragging him back off the ball. And yet we get nothing. James Garner. Again, fouled. Nothing. How is that not a foul, ref? Come on. The big club bias. Game after game after game. We've seen it time after time in these Merseyside derbies. Good interception by Reece Nelson. Jordan Pickford just going to clear in search of Hassan Diao. Does win the header. Can Nathan Patterson get there? Yes, he can. Can't quite lay it in front of Hassan Diao. Potentially should have tried to loft that one in behind. Get there, get there, get there. Or just let it out. One or the other. That'll do James Justin. Couple of minutes left. I think we'll make our last changes of the game at this stage before Jordan Pickford takes the goal kick. So three more changes for Graham Potter and Everton here. Stack, Nelson and Diao all making way. De Silva to come on, Lewis Dobbin to come on, and it's actually going to be Festi Ebesele to come on at right midfield. Not only to provide a little bit more defensive solidity in front of Nathan Patterson, but also because of his pace. James Justin is away here though. Josh De Silva. Gerard Deulofeu. There's Festi Ebesele. Is he onside? He's not. Deulofeu slips it in behind Andy Robertson, who had come incredibly narrow. And I guess that's fair enough. He is just offside. I would have been so frustrated if he was offside by the length of his nose, which you've seen on multiple occasions this season. Oh, almost stealing the ball away there, Josh De Silva. But Festi Ebesele, with his unbelievable pace on that right-hand side, could well... Good save, Jordan Pickford. Could well get in behind Liverpool. Fresh legs as well against Andy Robertson, who, of course, has played the entire game so far. Same idea here on the left-hand side with Lewis Dobbin. He's not quite as pacey as Ebesele. And Fernandez has done a good job to deal with him on that particular occasion. But this is the opportunity we were looking for. Ebesele matched up on this left-hand side, on this right-hand side rather. And his pace has allowed him to find it. Space in the Liverpool box, and Deulofeu gets the winner. Deep into stoppage time. A genius substitution from Graham Potter, bringing Festi Ebesele on to stretch that Liverpool defence. And that's exactly how it panned out. Into the 4th minute of stoppage time, Festi Ebesele into the Liverpool box, pulls it back for Deulofeu, who allows the ball to come across his body and tucks it into the far corner with his left foot. Gerard Deulofeu, a fan favourite during his initial time at Goodison Park. And he's already establishing himself as a fan favourite again. Not least because he scores the winner with the last kick of the game at Anfield in the Merseyside derby. What a performance. What a performance away from home. Liverpool controlled the first half after we took the lead 2 minutes in. They didn't control the second half anywhere near as much, though. We were absolutely relentless and direct in our attacking play, and particularly in our counter-attacks. Liverpool took the lead just before half-time, but 2 goals in the second half from Assane Diao and Gerard Deulofeu means all 3 points for Everton. And it means Liverpool likely drop perilously close to the relegation zone here as we approach almost the halfway point of the season. And I am absolutely buzzing after that victory. I wasn't sure that we would see a win against Liverpool in the series, but we come away with all 3 points at Anfield. Matheus Cunha did go down with an injury, so I'm a little bit nervous to see the nature of that injury, but I am ecstatic to see the nature of the table now. Liverpool in 16th position, just 2 points from the relegation zone, whereas we have moved up to 12th position, climbing towards the top half and towards the European places. We are currently 6 points behind Manchester United and Chelsea in 6th and 5th position. Matheus Cunha has, however, gone down with the dreaded broken toe, so he will be out of the side for the next 3 months. Thankfully, Gerard Deulofeu has hit the ground running on his return to Goodison Park, so we will be able to hopefully rely on him for the time being. Luca Waldschmidt has been a decent addition to the side as well. He's got 2 goals in just 6 appearances so far, so confident that he'll be able to step up into a bigger role. And look at Assane Diao. He is absolutely flying. 7 goals and 2 assists in just 13 appearances so far this season. 4 in 8 for Gerard Deulofeu. And even Anton Stack is settling in really nicely. Just a real professional in centre midfield. and making some goal contributions as well, 5 in 13 games. So things are starting to look up here in season 3, and we'll look to keep that momentum rolling as we move into December. 8 games in the month to play, so we will play 2 episodes of 4 games each. We will take on Augsburg in the next one, away from home in the Europa League. We've got home matches in the Premier League against Leeds and Watford to get to, as well as an away match against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. We are, of course, approaching January as well. We do have about 33.5 million left in the transfer budget, and although we technically have used our 5 permanent transfers already this season, as well as replacing Jared Branthwaite and Amadou Onana, it is going to be the last season. We are playing well in the Europa League, so I would be open to adding one more player in January. But it is up to you guys what kind of player that is. Matheus Cunha has gone down for 3 months with an injury, so we will be without him. Do we need to bring in another striker? Assane Diao and Reece Nelson are very good, but we don't have a massive amount of depth beyond them. Lewis Dobbin, Jack Harrison, Bertrand Traore are all fine role players, but none of them really are difference makers. And we have brought in Isaac Toure, but we have been shipping goals this season. So do we add another centre-back to the mix? I really am open to almost anything. So let me know in the comments down below. Firstly, should we allow ourselves one more permanent transfer to try and get over the line in one of the competitions this season? And secondly, if we are allowed one more transfer, who should that be? Open to anything, any player, any age, any position. Just get your suggestions down below. But that'll do it for this one. I hope to see you in the next one. Take it easy.